So let's talk the X1 blockchain. Yes, the blockchain that Jack Levin is building right now as we speak, that is set to get ready next year, because I have a feeling this is going to be great. And today we're going to take a deep dive into this X1 blockchain. And I think that the X1 token that is going to be built on top of this chain could hit as high as $120 per token. Yes, hear me out. So stay tuned, like and subscribe. Let's get right onto this Xen content. So meet the X1 blockchain. We haven't talked about it much on this channel. Today, I'm going to break it down for you guys to understand what is to come and what is Jack Levin currently building. So the X1 blockchain here says that it is pretty much planning to unite Xen crypto communities from across all 10 chains that Xen is currently running on. All 10 chains would be united inside this blockchain, which would make this super crazy. Jack Levin, the founder of Xen Crypto, he had announced this January 23rd this year in 2023 that the X1 chain is going to unite Xen communities across all chains. Now, this move is going to put Ethereum and other chains on a layer 2 level relative to the X1 chain. So the X1 would become a layer 1, and Ethereum, being a layer 1, is going to relatively slowly be pushed back to layer 2. Now, this would make the Xen layer 1 chain that is about to come, right, for parallel transactions, a 1 second block per speed. This is absolutely phenomenal. Remember Electronium, we talk about it here sometimes. They are planning to do 5 blocks per second transaction finalities, right? This one is 1 second, so the transactions will be super fast. The speed, phenomenal. Just think Solana when it comes to Xen Layer 1. So before the mainnet launch, the former Google engineer Jack Levin is going to create a mechanism where anyone burning Xen will get a free X1 token for testing their Xen tokens that are being burned on top of the testnet, which will then become later on their X1 tokens on the mainnet. So this is a first. It has never been done before for people to use their real tokens to burn them on top of a testnet. Usually you get these dummy tokens, but now you are burning real Xen to pretty much get X1 tokens, which would then be converted to real X1 tokens on the mainnet. Now, when is this X1 token coming out anyway? When launch? When mainnet? Mr. Jack Levin plans to roll this out during the first quarter of 2024, which is pretty much next year, right? So he reveals that he has already started to test this chain, and it will be open to the public within the next few months. Now, the X1 chain release is going to be unusual because it will start first on Ethereum, and it'll probably roll out, and the other chains will slowly come. So this is where users need to be burning their Xen. That's why I said always get your minimum 100 million Xen on ETH. Why? Because if any kind of burn comes, any kind of major pumps comes, Xen on ETH is going to pump first before Xen on these other chains start pumping, because it is the mother alpha blockchain pretty much. It's the mother or the father of all Xen, however you want to put it. That's what I'm trying to say right now. When this testnet ends, right, the test will go automatically mainnet. So what is the X1 blockchain itself? It is basically a layer 1 chain where users will have to literally burn their Xen. This is exactly what I was saying. To actually make movements inside the blockchain, to be able to use it, you're going to have to burn Xen everywhere across all 10 chains, from all 10 chains, to pretty much make movements. So these will be allocated to the native X1 coin. Jack has described today's Web3 space as a dinosaur age technology that is very difficult to use or even build anything on, right? So this is why he decided to use the Polygon Edge open source zero knowledge proof technology. These are ZK rollups. If you look back 2021, maybe 2 years ago, I was talking about this. ZK rollups, and Matic is adopting something like that. And ZK rollups are going to be huge because they are going to be helping layer 1s leading up to the bull market of 2025. So pay attention to ZKs pretty much, right? Now, he's using Polygon's edge open source ZK's technology to achieve scalability and also lower transaction fees. With ZK proofs, the transactions have higher throughput because they have batched these transactions into these little groups, right? Compared to Ethereum's single network transactions and whatnot, these are all bulk. Now, this provides the gas costs to be more efficient because the gas fee for single transactions is split between all participants involved in this batch. Think of batch minting, right? But this is called batch transacting pretty much, where you put all of them in joins and then you split the transaction fees in the middle. It becomes super dope. Now, Levin also mentioned the use of another chain and how they are scaling their features, and that is none other than Aptos. So he's looking into Polygon's technology and he's looking into Aptos technology features to be able to scale the Xen blockchain. He's studying these other chains. Trust me, Jack is on point. I told you he's a scaler because I read this thing a couple months back and I was thinking, blockchain, this guy is planning to scale this. Soon as he mentioned X1 chain and I was reading through the stuff he was talking about, this is why I said Jack Levin is a scaler, because this guy is a study case, man. Just study Jack Levin, I don't know, watch his interviews and whatnot, and you would peep game pretty much. Now, the test run is on a private test net and the transaction speed is 1,000 times. It's estimated to be 1,000 times faster than Ethereum. Everything else is faster than ETH now, but 1,000 times faster is absolutely amazing. I think Solana is like 100 to 150 times faster or something to that nature. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But, with single block times and all of these other stuff is just absolutely amazing. This chain would be one of the fastest chains ever if Jack ever brings this out, because, it's hard to build a chain. It's hard to come up with your own chain. Go and ask Richard Hart. He's still out there trying to bring out post chains. Some people are saying this post chain will never come out. So just know that it is not easy. Blockchain is hard. Software is hard. To build an entire chain to create a cryptocurrency is simple, but to create a chain that cryptocurrencies could be run on, it's absolutely hard. If you ask the Charles Hoskinsons and all these other people that took them 6 years to come out with something, it's not easy. Now, the X1 testnet will become mainnet. He announced this on January 26th, and in April or May, either this month or next month, a testnet for larger communities will be launched to help the network testing. However, this is going to be unlike others because the users will need to burn their Xen on Ethereum and then the other chains, ultimately the other chains, to get the testnet. So we talked about this, right? All other chains now, I'm telling you, if you accumulated bxen, if you accumulated Xenomatic and all these other chains, just keep on accumulating them. You're gonna need them. So a lot of people have been asking me in the comment section, what about bxen? What about Xenomatic, Xenon Moonbeam and all these other Xen? I'm just saying, hold on to your tokens, because when this blockchain comes, you're gonna thank me pretty much for just imploring you to hold your tokens, because you're gonna need them to burn to get this token. Because this token, we're gonna talk about it later on in the video, could make a lot of people rich. That's what I'm trying to say, right? Now, let's get to the nitty-gritty. X1 Tokenomics. So the X coin, he says, has a maximum supply, a total supply of 1 billion tokens. Now the plan is to burn straight away 50% of the total supply over time, right? Making this coin deflationary. So half of the supply over time would be burnt. So pretty much only 500 million would be available. Think of Shiba Inu and what they did, right? Initially, the other 50% of the supply was meant to be distributed between VCs, venture capitalists, so they can fund Jack Levin's, blockchain, because it's hard to build a blockchain. You need money to do this, right? The community and the team would also help. But later on, Jack Levin decided that, you know what, the entire Xen blockchain allocation should just belong to the community with no special groups or VCs and whatnot. And this is a great idea. It's a good thing. It's a good decision, because think of Solana, right? The VCs that early invested into Solana, they helped Solana pump all the way up from $5 to like $200 in 2021 above. But what happened ultimately is they dumped their bags on the chain, and retail was left holding the Solana bags to this day, waiting for the next bull market where Solana might or might not come back. So Jack is trying to avoid all of that, just VC problems. You know, you heard guys like Charles Hoskinson said, you know what? VCs are always Ponzi-nomics. They always invest to dump on people, and they're not really a good thing. Cardano doesn't have Ponzi-nomics. That's why VCs don't like Cardano, and this has proven to be true. VC money has gone into FTX, has gone into Solana, and a lot of these cryptos, and they wind up all creating a lot of problems for retail. So Jack's trying to avoid all of that stuff, and he said, you know what, this is just going to the community. Let's build our own blockchain. Now, 50% of these initial distribution was meant to be done like this, right? It's 50% will be put up for auction, allowing users to participate in these monthly rounds, like dbxen. You know what's going on there. Now, 10 to 15% would be accredited to investors, and then the rest would go to the founding team, Jack and his developers, right? Now, public distributions would probably follow like the dbxen. First it was meant to be Next Token, but now it's dbxen. If you've been here, you know, auction model, but this will last like 12 months daily rounds, where the NFTs would be burned for the X1 airdrop. So Jack is not happy with chains like OKEX and Doge chain, pretty much. So they have changed the rules when Xen was deployed on those chains. OKEX, for example, they increased the transaction fees because they didn't like Xen minters. Their blockchain was small enough. Now, making new rules for new minters and disadvantaging them. Now, Doge chain, on the other hand, they said, you know what, we're just going to ban batch minting as a whole. If you come over here with that Xen batch minting stuff, you're not allowed to batch mint on our chain, which changed the rules for the players and made it impossible for Xenians to deploy NFTs on these two chains. Now, Jack is encouraging people to move if you have your Xen on OKX chain and Doge chain. I don't have none of those, and he's encouraging them to take your Xen and move it somewhere else. Now, the burning will decrease the supply significantly. The X1 token distribution model was to be adopted from that of BNB. Remember the BNB model? This is absolutely dope. BNB has been highly successful over the years. If you've been here, you know the BNB token went from $23 all the way up to $600 in a matter of 2 years. One of the best performing altcoins last bull market, right? Now, the initial supply of Binance coin was 200 million, and 40% went to the founding team. You know, the CZ had to get it. 10% went to angel investors, 50%, the other 50% went to the community. Now, the total supply was to be burnt every quarterly, and I think this is what he's trying to plan to do with the other 50% of the X1 chain. So Jack is trying to adopt the BNB model. Now, this kind of mechanism ensures the value of the coin is strictly related to on-chain activity and increases each time Xen is being burnt. You see the plan here. Xen on Binance, Xen on Moonbeam, Xen on all these other chains would be burnt at all time on the X1 chain. So you're going to want to burn some of your Xen, but also hold on to some of your Xen, because you're going to see a lot of price pumps. 10x's, 20x's, 100x to 1000x's. That is absolutely, amazing, because every time it is triggered on the X1 chain, you're going to see your Matic Xen, for example, explode, or your Binance chain explode like crazy. Now, this is where it hit me, right? Since he's trying to adopt the BNB model, the Binance model, and the maximum supply, the total supply of these tokens is 1 billion. He's burning half of it, which leaves us to 500 million. There are other two cryptocurrencies that have similar supply, but they have 1 billion. One of them is Chainlink and the other one is Polkadot. Both of them performed similarly to what X1 is about to do. This is what brings me to this $120 per X1 token. 500 million tokens he has. Chainlink, 1 billion, and Polkadot, 1 billion. Tokens in supply now. They both had all-time highs of what? $55 approximately last bull market. BNB had $600 it ran up to, right? And it only had 200 million tokens, which now almost 50 million have been burned. I think there's only like 150 million tokens left. So if Xen has 500 million and BNB peaked at $600, if you divide that by a factor of 5, that's $120 per X1 token. And if you divide this by 2, it will take you to around $50 to $60, which is where these other two cryptos, i.e. Chainlink and Polkadot, look at their supply is similar to X1. This is where they picked half. And so if X1 chops its supply from 1 billion to half, you're looking at $120 per X1 token, which means that if you accumulate across all of your Xen that you've been burning on the X1 token, you manage to accumulate 5,000 X1 tokens. That's all you need. You would make at least $650,000 bringing it home. Imagine you just accumulated 1,500 tokens and this peaks at 120. You're looking at $180,000. Still, let's just say we overshoot. We don't even hit that. We hit like $75 per token at peak sometimes in 2025 for the X1 token. And you happen to have your 5,000 tokens, that's $375. If you happen to have your 1,000 tokens, right, times $75, that's $75,000. So you would still walk away with a ton load of capital. So the end game for Xen, I think, all the game theory and everything and all these chains, just bear with it. Just go along with it, because he's planning to do something huge if this blockchain becomes successful. Now you can tell that Jack, I don't think he has the money to build this blockchain yet, because initially he was asking VCs for help to build a more efficient and faster and more transparent blockchain. But then he said the community have to rally up behind him and help him when it comes to building this chain. So it's going to take a lot to build this, but not all hope is lost. You know, Xenians, Xen is an army and it is here to make a statement. So this was just this one. Let me know in the comment section below. What are your thoughts on the Xen X1 blockchain and when it comes? Do you think I'm crazy? Like this token is not going to even hit $50? Or do you think it's going to overshoot and go all the way up to $120 per Xen X1 token? Like up the video, share it, subscribe for some crypto content. I have been Mr. Nakamoto Crypto, and I'm out.